Hi there, YouTube. It is I, the one, the only, Naudia Exotica. So you're watching this on my 30th birthday, can I just say? And I don't believe what people say that you don't feel a difference. You feel a difference. And it's like maybe like a spiritual difference. But I feel a difference. It genuinely feels different. I just feel like the last 3 years were so vastly different than any age in my 20s. Like, it's crazy. But now 30 is just nuts. I'm gobsmacked. Anyways, I posted a shorts video tonight about the 3 orders that I had postponed. This is like the tail end of Mercury being in retrograde, and I feel like I definitely am feeling the end of it as well. But I crafted a body butter that's so silky smooth. It smells phenomenal. It's the Dubai Rose scent that I have a candle fragrance in. It's a similar scent, you know. The only difference is the body butter is a lot more musky than it is floral, but you still get hints of rose in it. Anyways, long story short, I was going to include 3 free samples of the regular size in the orders that I'm shipping out technically today. However, after like going through all the protocol of like, I was watching tutorials step by step on how to make body butters and lotions, and the final one is you let it shelf stabilize or whatever. You have to run like a little shelf stability test to where you see if it lasts without getting any sort of imperfections, any sort of water separation, or, you know, you don't want it to separate, you don't want it to congeal, you also don't want it to grow anything gross. So I feel like I'm only doing my due diligence by not including those in the order, but I just feel so bad because I sent out emails to all 3 orders saying, I'm postponing it one more day so I can include this. But I'll still throw a little something in there. Like, I always do little special little things, but it's just annoying. Anyways, I'm so sorry. But I hope you enjoy the candles. Candles are so much different because you just do a burn test. You just make sure that it burns properly. Skincare, body care is a whole other level. It's a whole other ball game. And I know that now, and that's okay. So, but that's not what this video is about, okay? Stepping into my 30s, I feel super different. I really do. It's probably just like a mental, spiritual thing. Genuinely, I do think that's what it is, but I don't know. Overall, it's different. It's different, but it's a good different. I don't know where things are going to take me, honestly. I'm selling my products in a store. And now I can actually start to fathom that. And I'm like, I want to take things even further than that, honestly. Ideally, I would love to set up a little kiosk in the mall. I'd love to do markets. And so I feel putting my candles in a store is getting me that much closer to doing such a thing. It feels phenomenal. It does. Anyways, who knows? But I'm excited for the journey ahead, and I hope you guys are too. Today, I don't know if I'm going to do anything. I kind of want to go to piercing. I do have plans Wednesday with a dear friend, so I don't know. But today, on the actual day, I have dinner plans. I don't know. We'll see. I will be vlogging that for members. This video is not about that. It's not about lotions, potions, libations. It's not about turning 30. I want to pick your brain a little bit in terms of, wouldn't you know it, bada bing, is trans escorting and stuff. Again, I want to talk about adult service providers who may be using a second phone number, maybe using their main phone number, and what can potentially come about. Because I didn't know until yesterday. Yeah. So someone fucked with some extra money of mine, and I was not okay with it. But let me tell you how they did. So the night before last, I was at a taco stand with my best bitch, and I get this message on my second phone. But it was like a prompt. It was like an iPhone prompt, and it said something about iMessage, but I did not think anything of it, and I also didn't actually read it. I like scrolled off of it. I was just like, whatever. And so I was like, didn't think anything of it. Fast forward to yesterday. I go to do a service, a video service, okay? And I can't accept Apple Cash. Excuse me? What? I was like, what in the fucking world? And then it added up too, because I was like, there was a night maybe last week where I thought someone was fucking with me because they were claiming they couldn't send me Apple Cash. And I'm like, I just had someone send me Apple Cash. So I was like, I was convinced they were messing with me. Turns out they weren't. And it also was so bizarre too, because the reason why I thought the first one was fucking with me is because the message thread was green. And I was like, how the fuck are you sending Apple Cash if you're on Android? It was so bizarre. So then I knew something was up when I had a sweet regular of mine yesterday be like, listen, send me the screenshot. Like, you can't accept it. It's not letting me send it. I tried everything under the sun. I Googled, looked on forums. People were saying turn off your iPhone or your iMessage and your FaceTime, restart your phone. I even updated to the 26.1 iOS. It was a mess. It still wasn't letting me. So I get on the phone with Apple support yesterday, and it was a man, and he was very accusatory, but he was like condescending in the sense of like he was trying to make it sound like, I don't know, like he was kind of talking to me in a very patronizing way, and basically was saying like, well, you know, if a certain amount of people report your number, you know how when you go to delete a text thread and it says delete, and then underneath it says delete or report junk, and then underneath that it says cancel. He goes, if enough people report you as spam, Apple will block your number, or what was it, like unactivate your iMessage. Like, the whole time I'm sitting there like, what the hell? I'm like, I'm not sending anybody spam messages. I'm not doing anything crazy. And the only thing I could think of, which I still have my money on this, my Apple Cash on this. I'm pretty certain that when I advertise on certain sites, if I don't respond to certain people, or let's say I'm pretty short with someone because I know they're fucking around on me, or I look their number up on a certain special little place and I can see their reviews, and I just don't respond, I have a feeling they are deleting the message thread and reporting my fucking number as spam. So I was put off when I talked to him. I was like, I'm not mass messaging anybody. I'm not doing anything shisty. And towards the end of the call, this is how I knew he was a prick. Towards the end of the call, when they do their little sign off, like, oh, there will be a survey at the end of this call, blah, 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 blah. The very last thing that he says to me, please be mindful of the messages you send out to people. Bitch. I was perplexed. Be mindful? I'll be mindful of my foot up your ass, okay? So I was like, oh my God. His one and only solution, by the way, was to go on the specific Apple site, log in, send a request, like a technical support request or some bullshit, and to explain to them, like, I'm locked out, it's not activated anymore, I need it reactivated. It was working a couple days ago, or maybe a week or so ago, and now it's not. And then he said to me, he was like, if you don't get a response within 24 hours, they have decided to keep your number blocked from iMessage and from FaceTime. And your only solution then is to change your fucking number. Otherwise, you're SOL. And I wasn't taking that as an answer. As a matter of fact, I was like, bitch. So today, it was a full 24 hours. I didn't hear shit from nobody, from Tom, Dick, or Harry. And so I called again, hoping to get a new technical support person, and I did. And I also remembered his name, and I also said he was very accusatory and patronizing. And she was super, super fucking understanding and super helpful and sweet. And she was basically like, it could be a number of reasons. That's not the only reason why. So she like notated not only my account, but she also notated the fact that said tech support guy was an asshole. And so we go through all these things. I'm doing the screen mirror thing again so they can see my screen and all these things. And it was like a simple fix, but she had told me that it was more than likely that Apple support decided to unleash my number at that given point in time, like right then and there. I don't really know how true that is. It could have just been a really dumb error all along. I don't really know. But I do know she was a lot of help. And I do know that I hit up my regular and things were squared away and I could receive Apple Cash again. But I was just like, what the hell? So the moral of this motherfucking story is, if you're service providing on anything, on any website, just be aware that petty, grubby, hungry, starved, get no play ass men could very likely report your fucking number. And then you're blocked out of your shit. I'm like, I even said to her today, I was like, surely, you know, you would take into account, what Apple would take into account, that this system could possibly be abused. You would think. And she was like, no, I totally get it. And yes, these types of things are, you know, taken into consideration and all these things. Like, she was so much more fucking helpful and so much more knowledgeable than he was. He was just like ready to talk down to somebody. But yeah, so just be aware. I had no idea this was a thing. I was like, in my head, I know I have a balance left on a certain site. Like, I have remaining money slash Bitcoin. They take your they do it by Bitcoin. If you know, you know. But I'm like, I don't think I think I'm ready to wash my hands of all this. That's stupid. This was a stupid hoop to jump through. And you mean to tell me that even so, like, even when I'm denying and or rejecting any sort of business proposal, I could still get fucked in the end? Please. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here, make my candles, and read my tarot cards. Fuck this. But I think I need a break from that now, because that pissed me off. I'm like, and the whole point is too, is like, you're advertising on these sites, me specifically, advertising on these sites for FaceTime shows, and you require Apple Cash for it. And then when you don't have access to either. So, anyways, it was super dumb. I just want you to be aware if you're in the game and you do stuff like that as well. Just be aware. That way you're not playing phone tag, you're not screen mirroring or going back and forth from your carrier, your actual phone carrier, to Apple support. And like, this one person saying it's this person's fault and the other person's being like, it's your carrier. Anyway, so stupid. Stupid. And you know, part of Mercury retrograde, or part of Mercury being in retrograde rather, is technical issues. So we're just playing right into the playbook, okay? Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I appreciate you guys so much for sticking around. I appreciate all the kind words, the love, the support, the orders. There's going to be new products left and right. Okay, I have a new candle scent coming up that's like, oh, I'm so stoked for it. Just be on the lookout. I finally named that one that I posted on my community tab. It's called Witchwood Orchard, and it smells phenomenal. So go peep it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or video requests, feel free to email me, nadiaexotica@gmail.com. Follow all my links at nadiaexotica.com. Don't forget to read my blog at nadiascuriotrove.com, and become a member today by clicking the first link in the description. All right, and shop Bohemian Chic at thebirdsnestbotanica.com. And until the next video, you guys, you will be hearing from me very soon.